A family wanted a fresh start, so they bought an old house in the countryside. Cheap, quiet, and miles away from the city noise. It seemed perfect, almost too perfect. Their teenage daughter, Era, fell in love with the place instantly. She was especially fond of the long, narrow hallway that led to her new bedroom. She said it felt cozy. Her parents just shrugged it off. Teenagers say strange things sometimes, right? But something changed after that first week. Era started acting differently every night. When her mother would walk past the hallway, she'd hear whispering. It was soft, fast, and sounded urgent. She always figured it was just Era on the phone, talking to her friends. Nothing to worry about. Until one night, she stopped to listen more closely. At first, she only heard Era's voice whispering into the dark. But then, she heard another voice answer back. It was deep, guttural, and it was definitely not human. Her heart froze in her chest. A mother knows her child's voice. She knows every laugh, every cry. But that second voice, it was wrong. Utterly wrong. Without a second thought, she burst into Era's room. Era was sitting on her bed, facing the wall. She was smiling, but it was a slow, unnatural smile that didn't reach her eyes. It was the kind of smile that made the hairs on your arms stand up. Her mother's own smile faltered. She swallowed hard, trying to keep her voice steady. Era, who were you talking to? Era tilted her head, a slow, deliberate movement, but she never broke her gaze from the blank wall. He's teaching me things, she whispered, her voice sounding distant, hollow. A cold dread crept up her mother's spine. Who, sweetie? Who is teaching you? Era slowly raised her hand and pressed her palm flat against the cold, peeling wallpaper. The man inside Around 3 in the morning, a sound jolted her awake. She slipped out of bed, her feet cold on the wooden floor. She held her breath, creeping slowly down the hall, until she was standing right in front of the spot where Era always whispered. As soon as she got there, the tapping stopped. The silence was deafening, and then she saw it. The wall, it began to bulge outward, slowly, sickeningly, as if something large and heavy was pushing against it from the other side. A scream ripped from her throat, and she scrambled back, turning and running for Ara's room. She threw the door open, her heart pounding against her ribs like a drum. But the room was empty. Era was gone. The bed was neatly made, the window was locked from the inside. Panic seized her. Where could she be? And then she heard it. Her daughter's voice, so faint and muffled, it was barely a whisper. It seemed to be coming from everywhere and nowhere at once. "Mum, help. He won't let go." Her mother's blood ran cold as she realized where the voice was coming from. It was coming from inside the wall. She backed away, her body shaking so violently she could barely stand. And as she stared in horror at the now flat surface of the wall, another voice whispered from within, a voice she recognized with chilling certainty. It was the deep, guttural voice from before, and it said, "One child was not enough.